my sister, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and Vice President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, judicial officers, jurists, and delegates from across the East Africa, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. I'm Jambo. You look great from here. In fact, no one can tell who is a Kenyan, who is a Ugandan, who is a Rwandan. We all look alike. We look like brothers and sisters, and indeed that is what we are. And you all look happy. Oh, am I right? Are you happy? Are you enjoying your stay here? Are you going to extend your stay beyond Saturday? We can facilitate you hold your court virtually so that you can sample what we have to offer here in Kenya. Allow me, on behalf of the judiciary of Kenya, to really thank Your Excellency, the Deputy President, for coming to grace this occasion. We are grateful to His Excellency the President because I knew personally he really wanted to come and be with us. But please convey our gratitude to him. But we also celebrate you and welcome you as one of us. One of us who has practiced law in our corridors of justice and understand the challenges we are discussing. One of us who has taught law and molded very many students in trying to see how they can navigate this terrain. So please feel welcome. And in the same vein, I want to welcome each one of our delegates, our Chief Justices, Deputy Chief Justices, Justices, Judicial Officers, members of IMJA. Our identity for this week is East Africans. Don't care whether I'm a Kenyan, Ugandan, we are East Africans, and that's what we pass for as we participate in our 22nd edition of the East Africa Magistrates and Judges Association Annual Conference and General Meeting 2025. We in Kenya, and on behalf of the local organizing committee that I kept checking on a daily basis, and as time went by, I think I was checking on them every hour. We are honored, most honored, to host you in a gathering that continues to strengthen solidarity among our judiciaries and to reaffirm our shared calling to deliver justice, justice that is accessible to our people, justice that is meaningful, and justice that engenders trust by our people. This year's theme, Justice Beyond Brick and Mortar, Unlocking the Multi-Door Pathways for People-Centered Justice in East Africa, speaks directly to the critical moment that we find ourselves in. Your Excellency, statistics was shared here that it is only 10% of our population who can access formal justice in the formal courts. 19% cannot deal with their disputes. They have disputes, they have problems, but they die with them. 71% seek alternatives. And the question we were asking ourselves the whole of yesterday, because we had a forum of Chief Justices, is whose Chief Justices are we? Whose judges are we? Is it of the 10%? And therefore, we said yesterday, we are connectors and we are facilitators of even the 71% and the 19%. It is our business to make justice a lived reality, to make justice a common good, and to make everybody of our citizens in East Africa become a partaker of justice and a champion of justice. Does that sound good? So for many of our people, the formal court system remains slow, it remains costly, it remains distant, and many times intimidating. Experiences have been shared and testimonies have been shared that even judges themselves tremble to imagine they can appear before a court. Let me say I'm one of those who also fear to appear before a court. That will send me screaming. I rarely scream, but if you tell me to appear before a court, I'll be so scared. One, I fear to lose my own agency. I like to be in control of myself and my situation. But when I'm before a magistrate, you know, they can order that I be put in the cells because I'm not talking loudly. This is not me, it's the experiences that were shared here. So, considering the justice needs of our citizens, people-centered justice has emerged not as an aspiration, but as a necessity. It calls upon us to shift our lens from judiciaries as the sole avenues of dispute resolution to widening and expanding access to justice through opening the multi-door pathways of justice that meet the diverse needs of our people. Through the work we have done in the region, and in particular here in Kenya, led by our indefatigable Professor Justice Joel Goge, we have come to the realization that justice is not only found in the courtrooms. Justice is found in our families, in our communities, in our marketplaces, and even in the offices where we work. And this is through the multi-door approach and pathways. So the movement toward this people-centered justice does challenge us to think not only how we deliver justice, but where, with whom, and through what means. It requires us to see justice not as a place where people go to, but as a public good that must be available in community spaces, through dialogues, through ways that enhance harmony, and through innovative mechanisms that respect culture, dignity, and agency. Your Excellency, yesterday we extrapolated this subject a lot and found that sometimes what we do, actually all the time, what we do is is designed cases. What we do as judges is designed cases. We don't resolve disputes. And this reminds us of even very complex problems that we have encountered as a society, political problems, especially determining the presidential election dispute here in Kenya. You all know we have made, I think, 4 very profound pronouncements by the Supreme Court. But what held the day was not the judicial pronouncement. It was the alternatives. And what it tells us is that nothing is impossible to resolve through dialogue, through dialogue, through people talking. So we pray next time there will be begin with the people sitting around the table and coming up with an agreement. Isn't that a good thing? Coming from this congregation, that we recommend people always begin with mediation, talking to one another, because after all, we are all citizens of our respective countries. We are citizens of our beloved Jumuiya, and we want peace within ourselves and across East Africa. So we are moving beyond the courtroom without abandoning the critical role the courts play, but realizing that we have to embrace multi-door approaches that bring justice closer to the people. NJS, court-annexed mediation, and special rights courts are transforming the justice experience for millions of our citizens in the region. These platforms enhance access to justice, restore relationships, empower communities, and help build trust in our judiciaries. And our judiciaries then become partners in addressing the daily struggles of our citizens. Kenya's justice experience under our blueprint, the social transformation through access to justice, underscores the importance of people-centered justice. We are guided by Article 159(2) of our Constitution, and we have embraced a deliberate multi-door approach to justice, where we have rolled out court-annexed mediation in 46 out of our 47 counties. We have expanded AJS to several counties, and we have established specialized courts, such as the small claims courts, children's courts, and even gender justice courts. These mechanisms have increasingly shaped the landscape of justice in our country. As we all acknowledge, this is not a Kenyan story alone. We have walked this journey as a region, and this is the story for our region, that this conference is going to deepen. Indeed, each of our countries is walking their own path towards people-centered justice, but our challenges and opportunities are strikingly similar. We have legislative challenges, because I hand this from this morning's panel discussion. We have resource constraints. We discussed this as the Chief Justice's Forum. And we have community engagement gaps and capacity limitations, especially because we have to continue printing and persuading our brothers and sisters, practicing advocates, the need for investing in the multi-door approach because of our training that is adversarial. We have also to see how this investment can be anchored in technology, and we can cascade the training on especially the principles of fair trial to every tribunal, to every ukumbi, that's what we call our community dispute resolution centers, and to every avenue, because you know the colonialists who came and declared our systems repugnant to justice and morality is because they said we have not embraced what they understood to be fair trial, respect for human rights. Now we are telling them in Kenya those are constitutional imperatives. every tribunal dealing with NJS must embrace those constitutional imperatives of inclusivity. We must include everybody in every ukumbi. We must also observe the principles of fair trial and ensure the agreements that we enter into, everybody has been heard, it has been signed, and when they are brought to court, we have opened up our rules of procedure to allow these private agreements to become orders of the court. I think you should clap for that, because that was the missing link, even from this morning's panel. The panelists wondered what would happen to those privately entered into mediation agreements other than the ones coming through the court and annexed mediation. We've been able to crack that in Kenya by allowing within our rules of procedure, and we are getting a lot of those agreements from the private sector, especially the banking sector. So we have a shared commitment to refine and strengthen this multi-law approach to justice across our region. And this includes supporting jurisdictions whose AJS, mediation, and specialized court systems have moved from the nascent stage, and we have something to share and learn from each other, ensuring that we work together in laying the foundations for people-centered justice. So, Your Excellency, my lords, my ladies, colleagues, as we begin this conference, I invite us all to approach each of our session with openness to learning, a willingness to interrogate our assumptions, and a shared sense of responsibility to ensure that justice becomes not only available, but truly accessible. As judges and judicial officers, we occupy a unique place in our societies because we are custodians of justice, guardians of constitutionalism, and interpreters of this social contract. Importantly, we build bridges between the law and the people, between the rights and the remedies, and between the institutions and communities. The shift towards people-centered justice demands that we adopt this broader identity with courage and imagination. It challenges us to design processes so that our justice system bends towards the realities of ordinary lives rather than requiring ordinary lives to bend towards the rigidities of our systems. And in conclusion, I want to remind us that our people will not judge our justice system just because of the number of judgments written, but also by the fairness, speed, dignity, responsiveness, and humanity of the justice that they experience. May this conference strengthen our resolve to build justice systems that respond to the needs of our people.